Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Mary Starr Carter, and it's a privilege to hang out and talk with you a little bit about some hard truths in business. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do like this comment, whether you're in business or you're in the business that I am, which is Young Living Essential Oils. I've been with Young Living for 20 years. Now, when I say with Young Living, many of us have loved a product, used a product for many, many years. But I've actually been doing the business of Young Living for 20 years. I've actually been with the company for 21 years. It all started when I was off in chiropractic school and my aerobics instructor invited me to a little class. I went. I was rolling my eyes most of the time because I thought, how could this be? I was a scientist. This stuff, this health stuff didn't make sense, even though I was in the health industry at the time. But I used this one essential oil called Valor on several people's feet. And a gentleman came up to me and the next day, and he said, Mary, I slept better than I've ever slept in my life. What was in this stuff? And I knew that I knew that I knew I had to know. I had to know what was in this stuff. Why were they so effective? As you can see, I've got a lot of those things and those essential oils back there and many more all over my home. And so I spent the next year learning. I learned a particular technique called the Raindrop Technique that is trademarked to Young Living Essential Oils. A lot of people do copy it, but it is trademarked to Young Living. It's very, very effective technique. And it's one that I used in all my chiropractic sessions when I graduated. So I had 18 months of kind of learning and growing. And all of a sudden, I got actually even less than that, I got this $100 commission check. $100 commission check. That happened actually in 1 year of just sharing with 25 people because a couple of them started sharing. They started getting results with 25 people. And I got $100 commission check. And I went to my mentor and I said, hey, what if we do this as a business? And she was like, okay, what do we do? And I said, I don't know. All I know is I have to write our goals, right? So we wrote down our goals and we had them posted up and we just started doing. And we have made, I and she have made so many mistakes, so many things, but we've learned a lot through the years. So I am here to share with you some hard truths about business, particularly the home-based business industry, particularly network marketing, and particularly if you have a young living business, some things that you can expect and some things that you won't be shocked or disappointed or frustrated if they happen to you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And the first thing that we're going to look at is our Young Living Income Disclosure Agreement. Okay, so first thing up, we're showing you this because I want you to write this down. If you're taking notes, you really do want to take notes if you're serious about growing a business, because this information does have the potential to change the future of your business and actually the future of your life. 98% and 2. So write that down, 98% and 2. Now I've heard this quite a bit in business. I've heard this through the years, this percentage, this, combination, 98% and 2. And I was like, what is it? What is that? And it's that 98% of the people, if you think about your business, are just product users. They are just product users. Okay. So if we look down, 89.6, just distributors, 7.4% of people, well, maybe they're dabbling a little bit more. Maybe they're buying for their family, maybe a few loved ones. But from this level down, this promotion or rank in our business, senior star down, those usually are the people who are actually doing the business. And that's only 2%. And why that number is so important for you to realize is that if you build a organization of 100 members, most likely 98% of 100 people will only be doing sharing possibly a little bit, but most likely they're just going to be your customer. Okay. Or they haven't developed enough yet to grow a business. Does that make sense? So one of the things that if you already have an established business, a lot of times we say team, and we vocalize in a way of our whole organization, and that's not really correct. Team or our business associates should be specific to our business associates, right? Not just our product users or casual sharers. That we should have a delineation between the two. So that will happen when you start qualifying, the people that you work with, and start, how do you do that? Now, let me come off of that again. How do you do that? How do I qualify the people that I'm going to work with? And this is a training. Many of us have taken some of these trainings. I can get you in front of some trainings that will help you to qualify people, but it's a matter of listening to them, asking them specific questions, and finding out what their strengths, interests, goals, and needs are, right? Okay, shake your head at me if you're watching this. Strengths, interests, goals, and needs. And from that, you can ask them the question to see, is their need a health need? Is their need a financial need? Is their need a time freedom need? Is their need they need to retire early? Is their need they have to pay for some private education for their child? Or is their need they have a loved one who can't afford the medical care they need, right? Because our business opportunity can help with all of those things. So if there is a need there, now the next question what you will say, or the next statement you'll say, if I could show you a way, right? And you can use whatever words you want to use here, but if I can show you a way to blah, 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 pay for that, to have a monthly income that would cover your child's private education, would you have an hour to look at that? Would you have 30 minutes to look at that? Could we sit down and set up a time to do that? Right? Yes, yes. But if they come back and say, nah, the things like that, I'm just not, there's the qualifying, right? So that's the first step to qualifying, is actually getting them to a presentation. Now, after the presentation and after you've done the close, now they're going to be a yes or a no, right? Or yes or not yet, or a yes, maybe in a couple of months, right? So you're either going to have to follow up, or you're going to have to onboard them. So the next place that you're qualifying them is when you onboard them as a business associate. You are going to give them a homework assignment, right? You're giving them a homework assignment to see how serious they are and to see what really dig even deeper into those needs, right? And we have videos on onboarding, but in a nutshell, I would say something like, Gwen, you shared with me some of the needs, but what I would like you to do over the next 24 hours is to make me a list of, things that you want to accomplish in the next 1, 2, maybe even 5 years, but really the next 1 to 2 years. Is that you want to pay off some of your student loan? Is that you want to be able to put an addition on your home? Is that you really want to be able to go on that mission trip to Uganda? Is that you really want to, take your amazing grandmother to Disney World because she never went to Disney World, right? I want you to write down 10 of your goals, and try to put the time frame that you would like to accomplish that. So she's going to give you 25 goals. The other thing is she's going to work on her resource list, right? She's going to work on writing a list of people that she can practice with, work on people she knows, different connections that she has, right? Our resource list. Again, we have training on this. If Gwen comes back to her appointment with the excuse, I didn't have time, oh, I'm so sorry, I totally forgot about this, is this a qualified person for you to work with? Okay, and you can shake your head at me even if you're watching this, right? Not really, right? Your time is so valuable. And that's the thing, when we're first getting started, we just want to bring everyone into the business with us. We want our best friends. We want this. We want, and it's wonderful to do business with best friends. It's wonderful, but it's much better to do it with people who are ready, who want it, who are hungry, who will follow directions, right? So that's another big thing in your business. So 98% of the people, even who come into the business, I could say, only about 2% of them will follow directions. They might go on, right? They might start doing presentations and things like that, but you have a window of time of 30, 60, probably 90 days to really coach them to success. Because after that time, they stop hearing you, right? Have you ever done that? Have you ever had a mentor or someone who's talked to you about something and you were so excited in the beginning and then you start to lose steam so you have about 30, 60, 90 days to coach with them, but you also have that amount of time. They have that amount of time to start to build their own success. The quicker that they start their success, the more likely they are to stay with you in the long run. And a great mentor in our Young Living business, Marcella Von Harding, she said, the faster you can get to someone, and back in the day, it was $300. Actually, back in my day, it was like $200, right? And then it went to $300, and now it's about $500. But the quicker you can get someone a $500 paycheck, the more likely they are to stay with their business for the long run, right? For the long run, because that is someone who's seriously doing Young Living as a business and is following directions. Okay, so we talked about 98% and 2%. We talked about qualifying both your prospects and qualifying the people you work with. And if you don't do that, you will end up frustrated. You will end up, why is everyone quitting? You will end up calling that person every month to say, place your qualifying order, please. Do you need help placing your qualified, even though they're getting commission checks? They don't have any skin in the game, okay? They don't have skin in the game. They are not doing the work. And probably this is the place to talk a little bit about something called stacking. And this is my personal belief, and it may take you longer to get where you want to go in this business, but your foundation will be solid. Your foundation will be solid. One thing to remember as you grow a Young Living business, there'll be some people who are amazing at what we call recruiting, right? Bringing new customers in, maybe bringing some business. They can be amazing at it. And then there'll be people like me who bring in one, maybe two on a good month, but they are consistent, right? They are consistent every single month for the long haul. And I'm not saying that top recruiters can't be consistent too, but what happens a lot of times with top recruiters is they want to build their business and get to that silver leg, right? That $1,000 paycheck very quickly. So they will place people in 2 or 3 different legs. So they start building these leaders who haven't been qualified as leaders in the first place, meaning they're not recruiting their own people. So the mistake you'll make is if you stack one of your new clients or business builders under someone who is not recruiting at the same level or the same skill level or doesn't have passion about the business, you're just placing them there to build your silver, gold, whatever paycheck, it will crash down on you. It will fall apart on you. You will not build a business that has great value. And I'll share with you this. I was doing a valuation on a business of a top recruiter. And, she had been on Top Recruiter, but what I found is her legs, she had sponsored maybe 60 people, but her frontline legs in all, I could not find anyone not only to match her recruitment, but most people after 4 years had only maybe brought in 8 people, 2 people, 3 people. So she built these legs. So the foundation fell apart. When somebody left the business, and this is the next thing I'll teach you about business, is people leave. People leave. They get pissed off. They see a different company. They die. Yes, that happens too. And they haven't set up their trust and will correctly, because you can will, sell, and or put your business in a trust, and you could lose that whole leg. You could lose that whole leg. And whether you've built a silver or gold or even platinum, right? You will fall down in ranks. You will fall down in paychecks. And that is just no good. So you have to build a strong foundation. How do you build a strong foundation? You make sure you qualify the people. If you are going to stack anyone, then that person should have recruited people that month or within the past couple of months. They are actively building the business. If they are actively, but Mary, I need to build this other leg. Great. And this is the best advice I ever got that I didn't follow. Brian Niederhouse, he said to me, back in 2016, I think it was, he said, Mary, I said, oh, Crystal, she's doing this and she's doing great. And he goes, great. I go, what should I do next? Should I start saying? He goes, no, you put those people on your front line and let the cards fall. The person who's going to rise to the top will rise to the top. Now, you may not agree with me. Maybe you want to put all those people on your second level under your mom. That's great. You can build a mom, a dad leg, a child leg, whatever. That is possible too. But don't make any mistakes. You're going to be doing both the work, right? You're going to be building both of that work. So I just want you to take that in, breathe that in. I know I was talking fast. And then write down any note I said, and then give me a nod if some of that made sense, okay? Give me a nod if some of that made sense. People quit. People are seasonal. A lot in this business, people will be seasonal. I see teachers who only come on in the summer, or I see teachers who work during the school year and they go off during the summer, right? I see people come on every third year. Now that I've been in it 20 years, they're like, yeah, I'm going to convention. I'm doing this, doing that. And they do it for a while and then they don't, right? Or they get distracted and do something else. You got to love the people through it all. You can't get frustrated. It is part of the business. Some people will be steady Eddie. Some people will be seasonal. Understand the different type of distributors that there are. And again, I can get you a great training on that. I forget the name of it at this moment. But it talks about all the different types. There's part-time, there's full-time, there's social, there's, because this is another thing to remember. Not everyone wants the money. Not everyone is doing this business for a paycheck. They're doing it maybe for recognition. I remember a woman in Florida years ago, years and years and years ago. And she worked in like the school district or something like that. And she had made like senior Starr or something. And we gave her a little certificate, not even as nice as this, and just a pat on the back. And she goes, this is the first time in 25 years that anyone has recognized me for my work. That is more valuable to me than anything. And you need to understand that because you're doing the business for your reasons. It's not everyone's reasons why they're doing this. Many people are doing this to help people. And that is wonderful and that is great, but that probably will not drive someone as much as they need to feed the family kind of drive, okay? That it's a different drive, it's a different speed, have to understand that. Creativity could lead to your downfall. If you are a person who is very creative, a person who likes a lot of change, you change up your house a lot, you like to take something and make it even better, you like to be very vocal and very public and create your own thing or your own brand and all of that too, that could end up being your downfall. And that's just my observation from 20 years. That I see a lot of people go to the high ranks, and when that challenge is done, they go on to something else that they're passionate about. So if you let just passion drive you in this business, you can go as far as that'll take you. and I had a woman say to me the other day, she goes, but let me clarify this. She said, this over here is my passion. I love to do this. And this is why I still do it part-time. But this, this is my business. And how many of you have had a job and you didn't want to go to work every day, right? But you did because it was your job. Your business is your business. You are not going to love it every day. It is going to be boring. It is going to be doing some of the same things every single day or week. Okay. If not daily, every week, right? Every week. How did I grow to gold very fast? I did a Tuesday class every week in my little hometown, and then at least Thursday and maybe even 2 Saturdays a month, I was doing a class somewhere else in the central New York area, right? I was doing that consistently for a season of time, and that grew to gold very, very quickly. The other thing that if you are not outgrowing your list, don't expect your business. And that's a whole nother thing that we'll talk about. But if you're not growing your list, if you're not networking, if you're not going to events, right? Events drive you. They bring you your motivation. And I'm not talking about training and getting on training every week or every day and things like that. Those are important to train your brain, but that is not the same as doing your business. I'm talking about motivation and inspiration. If you need that, then get to events, get around people who are getting results with their products, call your clients and get their stories. Those things will drive your motivation and inspiration. People quit. We talked about people are seasonal. We talked about building a good foundation. Let's talk about codependence. This is another sad thing that's come up and something that I really didn't understand until I was in it, is that especially those of you who have a helper personality, you can create a troubled business. And the reason I think it's because you want to help everyone, you forget about your own family, right? You have to put your family first. They are your priority. You are doing this to provide for your family or bring more opportunities into your family or to feed orphans or whatever that is. Whatever your why is your why. But you can create relationships with people, especially people you're trying to bring across the finish line or people that need this so much. Can I share with you that I have had homeless people living in my offices before, not just once, like multiple times, for months at a time, because I knew they could do this business. And if they just did this and they just got some Danny Johnson training, they could change their lives, right? I wanted it more than them, right? I created a dependency that was not healthy. And you need to look at that. You need to look at your relationships, right? That your team members need to grow independent, right? Independent of you. They need to be self-motivated, not just, doesn't mean you don't motivate your team, but it means that they will grow on their own. They need to be coachable. They need to be a team player, but also they have to have that independence, right? They need to be self-motivated. And lastly, put on blinders. In the 20 years that I've been in Young Living, it's actually, for me, gotten harder to keep the number one thing. Talking to new people, presenting to new people, following up. It's been very hard because there's so much distraction. There's all of this social media, and there's all these Young Living people doing it this way or this person doing it that way. I really, really, really have had to keep on blinders of not looking at what everyone else is doing, because you just got to do it. I'll give you a great example. I've watched this woman, Renee, over a year's time, who was very, timid to do social media and things like that. But then she just did, right? She just started sharing on social media, and she did it again, and she did it again. And as you do it, you will get better and better, but you cannot compare yourself to anyone else. You have to put blinders on. You can't see, well, this person over here signed up 100 people. It doesn't matter. It's your journey. It's your business. It's how you are going to grow. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has, definitely like and subscribe, like this video, subscribe to the channel. And these are just some hard truths that are in business. I hope that it helps your business. I hope you will take one or two of these items and really take a hard look within your own current business or the business you are about to build. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.